Now, as the November election approaches, the Lincoln Project is gaining attention as a GOP Never Trump organization. One America's Jack Posobiec spoke with author Julie Kelly on her new book about the Never Trumpers.
We are very excited to welcome back here on One American News. It's Julie Kelly, author of the new book, Disloyal Opposition, all about the Never Trump movement. She's also a senior contributor at American Greatness. Julie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Jack. Thanks for having me on.
Now, it's so fortuitous that you wrote this book and it came out when it did, because at the same time, this new group of Never Trumpers, they're not really new, but they've created a new project. They're calling it the Lincoln Project. They're launching massive ad campaigns against President Trump. And here you come along, you've written an entire book about them.
Right. The timing was really good, and there was no collusion there. It just happened organically, so I don't want any kind of investigation into it. But yes, so we have seen the Lincoln Project, which is populated by a lot of the same alleged conservatives that I write about in my book, the Never Trump book. But there are also other pop-up nonprofits that are percolating in the political atmosphere and getting all kinds of glowing coverage in the Washington Post and New York Times over the weekend.
And now we're also seeing some information that not only, and this was brought up on CBS, that almost 90% of their donations are going to overhead, this for Lincoln Project, right, but also that one of the founders of Lincoln Project, this guy John Weaver, was just last year registered as a foreign agent of Russia, the same company that was involved in Uranium One. What's going on?
Right. So, well, that's just it, Jack. The people that populate these Never Trump groups, and the Lincoln Project is a great example of that, is how they are not really, they're not, top tier campaign managers. They just, as you know, being in D.C., they just kind of hang around waiting to get paid by anybody.
Now, tell me also, one person who's not directly involved with the Lincoln Project, but seems to be sort of tangentially a member of this group that you write about, is Bill Kristol. What is he currently working on, and who is he working with?
So Bill Kristol is really the de facto leader of Never Trump. He started it really 5 years ago and has opposed the president ever since. So he is associated with a lot of Never Trump nonprofits that are funded not by the right, but by the left. And one person in particular is a man named Pierre Omidyar. I know you've covered him as well. He is the founder of eBay. And he's a left-winger. There's nothing conservative about him. But he's pouring millions of dollars into Never Trump nonprofits and various projects. And I detail that in my book. And Bill Kristol is probably the biggest beneficiary of that.
Will it have any effect on the needle when it comes to this 2020 election that we find ourselves in?
That's, again, what they're hoping. That's what they were hoping for in 2016, 2018, and now 2020. I highly doubt it. I think what these people do is actually agitate the base, because they're reminded of the old guard establishment Republicans that they really don't want back in charge.
Bottom line, how should the president and the president's campaign respond to these guys?
I think what they're doing right now is ignoring them. Trump tweeted out something about the Lincoln Project in May, and it gives them the kind of oxygen that they're looking for. So I think their attempt right now is just to ignore them. But I think it's important for people like us to expose who they are, because as people see their coverage, or they see them on The View, or they see them in the Daily Mail or covered somewhere as legitimate, I think it's important for at least us on this side to expose who these people are, what their background is, and particularly what their funding is.
Julie, where can people follow you and get more access to your work?
So I am a writer for American Greatness. That's amgreatness.com. And I'm on Twitter a lot with you, Julie_Kelly too. And also on Parler, just Julie Kelly.
All right. And of course, the book is Disloyal Opposition. Julie Kelly, thank you so much. We appreciate you coming on with One American News to share your insight and to share your voice.
Thanks so much, Jack.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.